This is an arena game. This season is Fjords and Landscapes, and uh, and yeah, we can start breaking down this game. The first thing we can do is look at the track. The track has dwellings, TPs, and dwellings late. So that definitely indicates kind of an economic game plan. A faction that doesn't necessarily have all its structures out early in the game, but can but is capable of expanding with shipping late. There's no big building tile in the game, which is a little bit definitive for a faction like Giants. Dwarves are going to be in a lot of games this season. Both ship tiles are in the game, so I'm not convinced that that might be a little rough on them. However, tunneling late is great for dwarves. I wonder if it could be like an early stronghold game for them. This is probably a little too early for dwarves. There's no like easy generic faction that I like to put in on this map. I guess there's halflings, but they're like a little tough on this map almost always. But let's go with them. They're gonna pair nicely with dwarves. They can keep darklings in check a little bit. Yeah, one thing with halflings is you don't know if you're starting like here, here. Like, I think it's not that insane to start here either. Like, oh, okay, so it's a nomads pick. So this is going to make it a lot of action on dwarves, I think. Halflings are a pretty tough faction on this map already, and then sandwich, I think it's going to be even harder. Let's take a look at the pass. Nomads get the spade. They're probably not opening with the stronghold. Halflings will get this. Dwarves then either take the extra worker or the extra cult step, and darklings get the opposite of that. Darklings could actually pretty happily just take temp ship. Yeah, it's already a good map for dwarves, and this color wheel is very, very favorable. The most awkward thing for dwarves here is probably where's your second town. Presumably your first town is here in the east, either with these 4 hexes or like these 4 hexes. Depending on how aggressive nomads get with a stronghold, they could like sandblast this hex, and they probably don't get like I assume that nomads don't build their stronghold in Route 3, so maybe they can get this guy then, but the next best has got to be darklings. Darklings with their inherent scoring have so much ability to put out late dwellings. Nomads with their late ship, like this is a game where you can generally hit your yellows late because brown is just not that interested in like these edge yellows, and I find it rather unlikely that halflings are trying to start over here and contest this yellow, for example. And brown is like, you're probably like, nomads can just start on c8, or they can blitz their way through here and grab c7 or something and then get through here. So one of the questions here is who's going to be the shipping faction. Like, halflings can have some success hitting c4, like doing like this sort of fun shipping start, like hitting these hexes. But I think that can be pretty easily broken up just by darkling spading g7 or nomad spading e6. These are all fine starting spots for our opponents. So that doesn't look great for halflings. Darklings have got to be at least 5 points better, maybe more. The other thing for halflings starting H4 is dwarves do play before halflings, so halflings can't just like double spade this guy with their first action. That is something that like you often would love to do, to just take this guy with your first action as halflings, but I don't think it can really happen here. So if halflings plays like double center or something, or like, you know, double this eastern large fjord, that could happen. That happens, darklings are super well, I guess nomads are thrilled, but darklings can probably get like these 3 hexes for a town then. And I assume that they're starting G8. They would need 3 ship, but it is a game where you want 3 ship. And then maybe you get like a bridge town through these hexes or something. Yeah, carving even 1 town looks pretty tricky for halflings. Whereas dwarves, if you do get the leech from darklings in on the first action, which I assume you probably do, to take this hex, you can just single dig this hex for your first action. Don't think that's a bad opening. You might even be able to upgrade because halflings probably don't start on a power tile. So yeah, I do still like dwarves. Looking at it, like, I do think that the halflings game plan does involve a lot of shipping. Even if you don't get connection points, the ship tile is important, and also you just might not be able to dig your way out. Like, there's not a ton of workers in this game. This is the only worker pass tile, and this is the only worker cult event. You're probably taking Earth 2 with this track. So I guess you take Earth 2 and just start jamming the fire cult early. I don't know if that's the right move. All right, nomads. We start with spade. That's an extra 2 points right away. Do we build a second temple in round 2? What hexes do we think we're getting? This E7 hex seems pretty important to start on, and I would argue that the right starting spots here, here, and here. Against these color neighbors, it could be pretty tricky to get out of there if we don't open with a stronghold. Like, this hex could be lost, right? Darklings take this. Dwarves tunnel here. Halflings could want this, but they could not. If halflings don't beat you here, then you probably do eventually sandstorm your way out of C5. But my plan would be to build the stronghold in round 3 for sure. The stronghold for nomads is very strong on this map. It's so strong that I would consider opening with a stronghold, despite how things look here. I've seen a lot of people have great success with nomads on this map. I've yet to do it myself. Those games all involve a stronghold. I think this map is not like base where you can do a non-stronghold nomads game and like come out really well, because the fact is that you're not going to get there's almost no towns on this map, just like base, where you can really easily dig out. There's actually even less than base where you can easily dig out town space on this map. Dwarves could get double dig in round 1. Is that insane to think? Halflings might start with no single dig spots if they start here, here, or here. Like, nomads, darklings, nomads, darklings. Halflings don't have really any spot to start where they're not going to have a color neighbor unless they start, like, here, here, or something. But, like, those don't give you any expansion. Nomads would just start C8 if you tried C7. You could start E9, but then there's no single dig hexes anywhere. Um, so yeah, it does need to be shipping. Um, the question, of course, is always just like, once nomads get their stronghold, who are they going to hit? The person most at risk is dwarves, I think. But if dwarves just do a ton of tunneling, like in rounds 2 and 3, then maybe they don't have to, like, if they secure these 2 hexes early, get this guy and this guy, then they're probably good. Nomads don't really have any interest in this northern connection path. You might lose I4 or something, and then like lose this connection. Nomads very likely want this hex, which is a connection route, but um, I think that your northern connection is probably fine as dwarves, as long as you get F3 early and C6. So those are probably your first 2 tunnels, or like this guy and this guy are probably like your first 2 tunnels. The 2 hexes that you need to worry about most, along with this, which is a good town spot. And if failing this, then this. But I am imagining darklings on G5, G8. That just seems like the most likely outcome. Could be wrong there. All right, so the question is, what temple do we want as nomads? I kind of just lean toward taking Earth 1 for nomads. And then hoping to get enough action on here. Like, then next round you send a priest to fire. It probably won't be the first priest to fire at that point. Do you single dig in round 1? It seems very pretty hard on your coin economy to single dig in round 1. The alternative is that we just take Earth 2 or Fire 1 in round 1 as nomads. And then you try to build Sanctuary for either Water 1, and then you try to build Sanctuary and Stronghold in this round. Okay, but that's not happening. Vices is just pick halflings. We were talking about doing a shipping strategy as halflings with these 2 hexes. That would make me sad if that happened, I think. I would really prefer halflings on H4, and I just take H3 in round 1. But we'll see how that plays out. This map, the weird color wheels, like the amount of leech that can happen in round 1 if nomads are on these 2 hexes and black is in the game, or if just like this hex gets taken by brown or blue with nomads in the game. Dwarves obviously getting a lot of leech. We don't know if stronghold opening is happening. That could be pretty strong for nomads, and that would be pretty bad for me. So we'll see. With 2 ship tiles in the game and not a lot of workers, it is a little tricky for dwarves. I think that we're going to prioritize putting priests on the fire cult if we can. We'll see what Hephaestus does with his priest. I'm assuming that he's taking a priest. There is a world where even if I lose this hex, it's okay, as long as I get this D2 hex. If I can drop the landscape on D2 and still get D1, then I am connected, but it is fairly tricky. All right, halflings are down here, so I do need to try to get a single dig here. If darklings do upgrade with their first action, which I think that they likely will, then I should be able to get it. Halflings are down here, which encourages me to kind of encourages me to start F6. But I think that starting over here with my town space is better. Nomads are likely to come here anyway. If I'm nomads, I'm starting here. I'm just spading e6 early. Just kill halflings connection really early. Darklings should come down here. If they don't, that's silly. But also if they don't, then halflings will struggle for neighbors until they dig this hex. Or until I tunnel over here. This long think is worrying me. Well, this is not what we were hoping to see. This is definitely not what we were hoping to see. Wow, nomads start with the priest instead of the spade. That's wild. Halflings getting the spade. I didn't see that coming. I mean, I think I still want this guy. I mean, do I want the worker or do I want the this? Like I could secure a dig by coming here, but like at this point, darklings might just take f3 from me, which is, I mean, darklings now threaten h2, so halflings are less incentivized for this. I could try to pass early for double dig in round 2. This guy slows me down in terms of double dig. This would be like a temple and then tunnel, but then I get on a crappy pass tile for round 2. Let's just see how things play out this way. We are talking about dwarves here, so even if I lose this guy, as long as I still get my tunnels over here, like maybe I4 or something, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, halflings getting the spade starting at 40 in a spade round in round 1 when they weren't expecting it that's pretty crazy to me. Darklings are on temp ship, which means that they probably want workers and then these 2 hexes. Feistus could turn this guy yellow if he wants town space, but it's pretty risky against Darklings. Darklings could just grab h2. So I don't know what they'll choose here. In either case, this does look to be like one of those monster leech openings on Fjords, where like one faction could just explode that you weren't quite expecting. So let's keep an eye out on which faction that might be. The first priest of fire is going to be quite good as well. Okay, so Phaistos I think is kind of angling for double dig here. I think that okay, if Darklings do temple here, which I don't think they will, I think they'll buy workers, then I get the double spade. But if I'm offered a single spade, I'd probably take it. Oh, do I take it? I don't like Nomad's first action was Priest to Earth. I'm not convinced that they actually want. I think that so personally, I think that Darklings should temple. Um, well, I mean, I want that for myself, but if you think about who is going to get double dig here, Shouldn't Darklings want me to get double dig because I paid the most victory points? I'm already in like the worst, arguably like the worst position. Um, but we'll see what they choose. I don't necessarily agree with this G3 placement, but I don't think it's that bad. Um, it's not. Well, it's pretty good for Leech too, right? You need a bridge to make a town here, unless you take one of my hexes. That's the risk that they take F3. Um, like halflings want H3 and darklings want F3, and that's one of the reasons why like this is unfortunate for me. There's a lot of pressure on the hexes that I want here, from factions who shouldn't theoretically want them, because nomads also threaten E5, E4, which is okay. This is kind of fun. Okay. Well, so I'm definitely absorbing the dig from here. This is pretty cool. Darklings should be able to still get out their temple. They can build F2, and then they'll have Leech by then to take a worker's power action. And then I assume that you just take Earth 2 or Fire 1. Taking Earth 1 at that point seems kind of silly. Hephaestus does get the priest. So Hephaestus will get the first priest of fire, which is nice. I've obviously been talking about that. Nomads taking the workers definitely has me thinking stronghold, which is very sad. If I were Darklings, I would have considered putting the first priest of fire there, actually. Yeah, but Hephaestus does get it now. Sadly, I'm missing out on the best part of the Leech Party, which appears to be happening down here. Nomads, without upgrading even once, managed to get like a ton of good Leech. Like, he took a good power action. He still has enough for like another good power action coming up with all this Leech. Actually, I guess I'm getting this Leech too. It's just a little late. Whoa. I didn't see that coming. Okay. Well, this puts a lot of pressure on F6. I imagine that if nomads are sandblasting with like their first action or something, that it might happen there. I'm just going to put the bump on Earth. This is probably the cult that I want to win. It's the cult that had the best chance of winning. And it also gives me 2 power early, which 1, 2, 3, or 5. If I pass on to this, then I could open next round with a double spade and grab E4. E4, I think, is the ideal hex for me next round. It's good. It's pretty good for towning. And to be clear, it's good for both towning and connection. I'm likely not getting an early town through here, so. I'm very pro Dwelling Rush Darklings, so this is fun. I don't think it's bad either. The track actually quite agrees with what they've done here. Whoa! Feistos, buddy. Well, I can say goodbye to one of my grays. I mean, you have to think that nomads are probably sandstorming up here now. Like, that's just it's my instinct now. Um, anyway, I'm not getting this leech, which is a big bummer because that means that I can't contest double spade next round with my first action. Hephaestus will actually be able to, will have the option of double spade round one if he wants. Um, I have to think that he's going to put the driller down here right now. Because if he doesn't, darklings might be able to spade this guy away, and that would be disastrous. Um, okay, so I do get some leech. That's nice. Darklings don't upgrade here, but that's okay. Darklings take the TP tile, which I guess they wanted the extra worker. Oh, they can actually sanctuary next round. They can just open the coins, temple for fire one, sanctuary for earth one, or vice versa, whatever. Um, okay, so again, if we pass on to one of these guys, we do get double spade. So I think that that's what we want to do. We don't know where nomads will go yet, but if they do take this hex and then I lose my first town spot, then I'd probably just double spade d4 and accelerate this town. I don't think that e4 should be their priority, but we'll just deny some points to the table, I think. Yeah, because Darklings are opening with a coins action. They're not going to upgrade first action, so in order for me to get the leech to double dig... Halflings are so incredibly bad on this map. Halflings don't look good on this map, but I would argue that they're actually better than you think on the map. Ooh, that's fun. That's fun. This hex only costs one dig now. Halflings struggle to connect, and they struggle with early digs. However, depending on how things go, like early shipping can be pretty good for halflings. That's a pretty underrated aspect of it. Anyway, yeah, I'm in a lot of trouble here. This, like, the way that Darklings took the double, like, the way that things have gone down has not been good for me. Like paying this many victory points for dwarves is just, obviously it's kind of dumb if things wind up playing out like this, right? I take I5, which is a pretty neutral hex. You got to think that I4 is coming next round, but I probably can afford to just lose this one. More vital, I think, might... and the two hexes I'm likely to lose are this hex and this hex, I have to think. But maybe I should just be rushing a temple for Earth 1. Whatever. I gotta figure out what I'm doing here. I assume that this is coins, as I said. Yep. So we could go for Earth 1. But I think it's probably better to lock up some early town space. If I do this, then I probably lose a town over here. Nomads are probably taking d4 or something. But I think I can live with that, because then at least I get some tunnels in. I can just tunnel to c6 afterward, right? Depending on where the sandblast goes. Round 1 driller is amazing. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I think that I'm in a very, very bad spot here. I'm pretty worried about my outs, actually. Like, I was really hoping that nomads didn't open with the stronghold and they would go for the 5 points here, but I think that they were probably correct that it's just too good not to open stronghold. They managed to get a good coin economy going by getting the first priest to earth. That was 5 points, or 5 coins, which obviously early coins are much stronger if you're playing something like this. Oh, what town do halflings want too? That's also halflings could go for the 2 key town. They've gotten this hex, so they take h6, which is a good connection hex, but it does leave me a chance to get either f6 or i4. I think the right hex to take for me is i4. Yeah, I think I'm taking i4. Oh wait, they haven't used their sandblast yet. Okay, so what hex am I scared of them sandblasting? I mean, taking away their early town is not bad. This also gets me one leech from halflings. I will just tunnel up here early if I'm allowed to, so I see some outs for me. Come on, give me the leech, buddy. Give me the leech. Show me the money. Nomads look like they might be trying to have a fast round. They might be just trying to get to here as fast as they can, though. I mean, they're getting so much leech, they probably should just be taking power actions. So my round is probably this and a tunnel, right? The question is which tunnel is more important. I could claim a priest spot. I probably want this priest. I think that this hex is pretty good. Um, and if I have to, then I'll pass early and take this. But I do think that nomads probably want to build a temple. If nomads don't want to build a temple and they just sandblast this, then I might just have to pass. Passing early is pretty good here, as long as I get onto this. That said, there's no guarantee that I get onto that. Feisters is taking a long round, which makes sense. I would have sandblasted this hex first if I were nomads, and then spaded this. I feel like there was less pressure, but maybe they wanted the leech. Like, that's my... I assume that that's what happened there. Don't know for sure. Wow, darklings are going for a second temple for Earth 1. Not sure about that. I mean, taking Water 1 first isn't a bad read, I guess. Maybe they're going to Temple Fire 1 and then Sanctuary Earth 1? That would be pretty neat. Oh, Nomads could Sandblast C6 this round. They could just... What they could do is they could single dig this guy and then Sandblast this. That would be trouble. In any case, I'm never leaving this round yet. Or, I mean, I wasn't leaving this round yet because nomads were still in it. I might leave the round once darklings... Yeah, once darklings do something. If I pass onto Nomad Spade, that's also fine, right? Because, oh, I guess we're thinking that Nomads might take this and C6 both this round. That would be our issue. I don't think that it's in their interest to attack me, but I could be wrong. They could see it differently. And it's like not their fault if they do see it differently. I don't think this is an attack. Like, I need hexes too. I mean, I paid 22 points to be dwarves here. It's not like an attack on anyone. Okay. Nomads do stay in the round. So I get to put Priest to Fire. Do I want Priest to Fire, or do I just prefer this? I kind of think I just prefer this, right? Because then, do I get double Spade next round if I do that? Darklings are about to give me 3 power. Hephaestus looks like he's going to build this hex. Yeah, I only need 1 more power, and I have that power. So if I pass onto this, open next round with a double spade, and then Sanctuary, and then I can Sanctuary Water 1 TP for the 2-key town. No, I mean, I'm not getting the 2-key town at this rate, which is a real bummer for this track, but that could be okay. I can just take the 1-key town. The 1-key town is a fair amount worse, considering how hard I'm fighting nomads here. Nomads will probably just Sanctuary for the 2-key town next round, which is a bummer, but I think getting some town space is pretty good. Anyway, yeah, my lack of stuff is probably a problem right now. But my lack of points and my lack of Earth 1 are going to be big problems this game. Like I've chosen like a wide strategy, and everyone else has built tall, and they have Earth 1. So I am in a fair bit of trouble if I'm gonna win network probably, and I'm not even sure if I'm gonna win network against nomads. To be fair, like I just suck it up and play nomads a lot more, I think, and stronghold nomads, even if I feel like the track says otherwise. Like this clearly is going to hit the track for 5 points at this point. The other argument is that I should have been the one to take Earth 1. Wow, Hephaestus also got the priest. Like, everyone just got so much leech, and I've spent it all on digs, but the Sandblast goes here. It's a good connection hex, and it also kills the Darklings town, as long as Darklings don't get this hex. Though they might target this hex with their first action. If they do, who cares? Do we care if Darklings target this hex? Like, I imagine that they're going to take this and bridge. That's what I'm thinking. This really doesn't do that much for nomads. I guess it lowers their shipping requirement to 2, or even 1 if they got F6. But probably going after F6 is a bit of a mistake. Nomads will open to the coins action. I think I'm fine with that. Hephaestus could just pass onto this and then Sanctuary Water 1 next round. It'd be kind of fine. Because he's got so many workers coming off the Fire Cult. Then pass early. Does pass onto the Spade, so he has more plans in mind. I wonder if he goes for this guy. Where's he? Oh, he's going to come down here, advance his shipping, and build some dwellings. Okay. Are we doing this? I will get a neighbor here eventually, but I think that going for this is faster to a town. Probably gets a little more leech as well. This guy is good because it gets me to F9, but I think that accessing these hexes up here is also pretty important. All right. This game is about to be really short on coins. You're not wrong. Getting an early pass here could be pretty valuable, right? That, I don't really agree with this dig from nomads, but it's fine, I guess. Not a whole lot of pressure on water 1. But I do think that it's probably just correct for me to take it. Darklings may secure this just this round. We'll see what happens. We need to score points. So we finally made positive points. Priest goes onto the fire cult from Darklings. I didn't expect that. That's very annoying. Darklings probably Sanctuary Fire 1 as well. Do I want to put Priest here and then take a cult town? I think the answer is yes, right? I want to contest this cult for at least a few points. Like, this is the best cult. There's also an argument that, as you pointed out, I should be taking a coin town instead, but I'm just going to morally oppose that. See how this works out. The other priest is going to go onto the earth track. Darklings playing Culty is very, very annoying. It's taking away one of like the few sources of points that I have. Okay. See what town this is for nomads. It's water 1, which is not unexpected. They take a workers town. I don't know what that's about. I guess they're going to pass. They're going to pass next. Darklings do have to make their sanctuary still. Halflings are going to try to town through here. So I am glad that I didn't. I am kind of glad I didn't take this hex because halflings coming to me is probably better than alternatives. Stick this guy on here for now. I don't think it's that urgent to pass. I mean, these coins are going to be very nice, but if I can get halfling spade, that's also nice. So the priest, like, honestly, I'm pretty happy with any of these guys. Like, TP tile, spade, and the coins and the priest. I can be happy with any of those. I just don't want the 2 shipping tiles. Though arguably the priests will become rapidly less good as Darklings start getting in there. If Darklings keep sending priests to cult. Okay, so Darklings thought about it. They decided to put the Sanctuary on this side. I don't know if that means they're abandoning this, but in any case, I'm going to continue taking Leech and putting myself below where I started. Or I guess this puts me equal to where I started. This is likely Fire one, I think. It contests the cult that he just put Priest on. What's my thinking there? Nomads use a single spade, which is a little worrying. My grays up here could be threatened. I have some grays out in the west. My only question is connection. I think D2 landscape looks like one connection route. The other one is like B5 landscape or B4 landscape, or like, you know, just a structure on B4 is likely able to connect me, but both of those could go away next round. Like all of those could go away next round. So I'm just going to float my connection for now. I think I have to play pretty greedy. Halflings stay in the game. Let's do this. Oh wait, nomads have no coins. If I pass now, if I just pass now, and I open next round with 3 worker digging this guy. Actually, putting my landscape here as my first action next round seems pretty dang good, right? Like, if my first action next round is just to landscape on D2, then I'm connected, and I get access to these northern grays. There's also B5 and technically A3 as well that are still available for me late in the game if I'm in a position to be advancing digs. I just kind of want to get coin production going, but I think hurting my worker production next round is actually a mistake. So let's do this. Let's make this game weird. Darklings use a priest as a single bump. I really think that that's weak. And this has me now questioning how good this player actually is. Okay, first of all, they have 75 rep and they've quit a bunch of games. Okay, this player actually isn't good. But it's frustrating because what they're doing is bad for them and bad for me. Like, spending 2 priests to get this reward at this stage in the game is not good. But whatever. They're free to do what they want. Yeah, okay. So I was thinking about what happens if I just tunnel here with my first action. And I was wondering if that really jeopardizes Nomad's connection. The answer is yes, it does jeopardize Nomad's connection, but Darklings are probably going to take D2 with their first action, take these 2 hexes, get, like, try to carve out some town space or something over here. And Nomad's probably just sandblast B4, which puts my connection in great jeopardy. So I think the correct move is just to secure my connection with D2 first, and then worry about, or B4, either of those 2 guys could be pretty good. Honestly, B4, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 workers, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 workers, but I don't have enough structures for that. So I think D2 to get connection is actually the correct. Nomads is broke. Yeah, Nomads doing this dig was terrible. Nomads really made some iffy calls in rounds 2 and 3, but they're still arguably in a better position than I am, simply because of their point situation. Like, their point situation is really helping them out. Oh, hey, cool. I could use this. Maybe I don't want to, though. I think that using workers here is fine. Let's take this guy first. Put the landscape down. Just make sure that we got what we actually need to get. Okay, so now we just tunnel twice. Yeah, okay, so F6 goes. So I'm safe up here now. Nomads do have 2 more towns coming. Halflings will take the coins. I need to... Halflings don't take the coins, and I'm taking the coins. But I assume they are. Maybe I should take workers here. But that's probably wrong, right? Like, because I'm thinking about going TP, dwelling, tunnel as my round. I also don't really want a long round because, like, this could be in my future, but I think I have to play. I think I still kind of want to maximize my economy here. It is something that, like, I'm starting to struggle with a little bit. Like, I sometimes go for way too much econ instead of points, instead of, like, good points behavior. Okay, I think that we can put a priest. Let's see. I want to, if I can still TP, dwelling, tunnel this round, right? That's really, I think that seems really good. And then I can bump myself to get this reward on fire. I can send a priest to get the spade later. I don't know if I'll need it. That all seems pretty good. So why don't we just lock up this tunnel? This tunnel is more in jeopardy than this one. Some welcome leech. I actually do have enough to take a double spade now, but I think that at this point power is coins. Hephaestus is destroying this game with this round 1 driller. Well done. So nomads are going to force their way into a town here. So they are going to get 2 more towns. They have water 1. They're not going to get a ton of points from making TPs this round, but it'll still be 12. They can still make at least 2 TPs, maybe 3. That'd be 18 points plus 6. Plus they're passing for 8 points now. So, like, that's like 42 points coming in for them. They're going to be like at 100 points next round, at the end of next round. That's pretty good. I don't know if I have 100 points in me. Like, I mean, maybe I have more points than I think, but I'm not doing well in the cults due to, like, how hard this fight has been here. Nomads probably take fire 2 or some garbage as well. And, like, nomads and darklings could both take fire 2, which makes my life over there annoying as well. I'm going to take this last spot. Seems good. Nomads will probably put priest of earth, which is annoying, but this does get me a cult step. It's good against nomads. And I can buy another priest if I need to send to earth. Well, let's just take this first. We can wait a little bit and see what happens. Nomads just send their priest to fire, so I was good. I was good not to panic about the earth track at least. Halflings might send priest to earth. That would be annoying. Oh no, they need to advance on the digs. That's fine. They probably build these two guys then. F8, E9 seems to make sense. Then I'm actually threatened for my town space on D5. Because my sanctuary is over here, so I need one of these triple, or like, I need an expensive hex if that happens. Okay, the priest goes to darklings. If they send 2 priests to earth, I'm probably pretty happy. So I think I just take this last spot for now. This pass tile now becomes quite attractive as well, but I think that there's still stuff for me to do, but I'm not that pressed about it. Now, if I do get this cult town, do I just pass? So I kind of want to go cult town and use my cult bump, because that gets me 4 extra power. But can that 4 power really be as good as this? And also having the right tempo to pass onto this. I think the right move here, sadly, is to just pass. I really, really want to maximize my econ even further, but I think I'm supposed to pass here. I mean, having a free hex is probably good to secure this next round. So I do think I should open up a TP right now. Oh wow, nomads are going to be able to... They are going to be able to take a coins action. So nomads econ is actually quite good. They can actually build all 4 of their TPs next round, so they are very much a threat. All right, screw it. I'm just not gonna worry too much about the pass tiles. We're just gonna hope that the pass tiles work out. Darklings grab a yellow hex. Nomads do build next to me. And then... Darklings haven't used their spade. But they might just forgo it, right? They build another dwelling. Okay, they take a town. This might be like a ship town or something. Priest town. Okay, as much as I would love this cult step, I think that the correct thing to do for me is to pass now. This dwelling still being available is crazy. Or like this, yeah, this dwelling tile still being available is crazy. It also gets me better passing to tempo here. What I'm missing out on is probably 3 points and 4 power, but I think that this is just really, really good, and I should go for it. And I really hope that Darklings just finish their turn, because it is taking quite a while. They take the other cult town, obnoxious. And maybe it works out better for him than I'm thinking, because they have plenty of points, but my instincts say that it's not great. It's a real bummer not to use this, but... Alright, so here I'm concerned about securing hexes. maybe I just simply take d5, TP, 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 tunnel. It's probably a fine round. Yeah, we're in big trouble here. Um, this has not worked out. It's also not super clear where my tunnels are going to be in the final round. Um, and it also worries me that Hephaestus' best move next round economically is to build more dwellings. He has so few dwellings out, and he's on this coins tile, so he'll have plenty of coins. Like, he probably wants to come through here more than he wants to do anything else. God, this fire cult turned out to be a disaster. I should have just invested a priest into the air cult earlier in terms of points. So I just have nothing going for me. I have network, and that is literally it. I only have one more town coming. I don't really have cult points. I have no cult advantages on anyone. I have the pass tile. I guess what I have is the pass tile. But nomads have a huge points lead on me. They also have a pass tile. They have Earth one and Water one. They're gonna fight me hard in network. They might beat me in network. They have a very good chance at beating me in network, in fact, because they are a stronghold opening nomads. And yeah, I mean, I have slightly better cults than them, but they have two towns coming and Earth one. So we're in huge trouble here. I'm gonna take my dog out because she seems kind of crazy right now. Hopefully it'll be quick. Okay. Do I prefer Fjords to base map? I think that Fjords is really interesting. I think it's a more balanced map than base map. However, I actually think I kind of prefer the predictability of base map. Like, I actually found Fjords very unpredictable. Like, this sort of opening is really unpredictable, and the unpredictability has, it's hurt me in terms of performance, but it's also, in some ways, made the game a little less fun for me. Um, the fact that, like, this sort of opening can happen and you just get, like, at least for me, I'm just getting kind of blown out of the water because of it. Now, that's a very selfish point of view, but, like, that is kind of how I'm seeing it right now. Um, but I do love. I think that Fjords is an amazingly designed map. I have to say that. Like, it's yeah. Fjords probably has like the map design that I enjoy the most. I'm wondering if I like if I'm supposed to take this hex here. If I'm supposed to hard dig for this hex, make a TP, and then and make a town rather, and just take a workers town. I think that case is there, right? That I'm supposed to just take a workers town. Just secure this hex, and then I have 2 tunnels left. Halflings probably won't advance their shipping and hit my grays. I mean, they might. They might just hit my grays, but I'm a little wary about this hex next round. Um, we're not going to upgrade next to that landscape. But yeah, I think that overall I still actually prefer base, which I didn't actually realize was the case, but I have done some thinking about it lately, and I think that that is how I'm leaning. That I do prefer. Oh shit, the other workers town might go. I guess I just take a priest town then. It's not that much worse. Oh, okay, they take the priest. Okay, so I'd probably take the workers town then. And yeah, Vices is a little short on workers, so he shouldn't really just be bombing my hexes. He has Earth 1, so I think that he probably just wants to advance his shipping next round and then hit his natural browns. That's what I'm going to bet on. Um, is a workers town disappearing? No. This is a coin town. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be a coin town. Nomads have no TPs out right now, but they probably get 3 TPs out. Maybe all 4. If they get the leech. Okay, let's go with this strategy. This tactic that I was thinking might be good. So I'll have 8 workers for the next round. That'll be enough for a tunnel. TP tunnel. That's pretty lame. God, tunnel TP tunnel is really dispiriting for my final round, isn't it? I think maybe I have to buy the priest here. I think maybe I have to buy the priest and send it to air as like a sad attempt to outlast nomads. I don't think I can just not contest the pass tile, can I? I guess the other thing I can do is I can just pass and take this. It blocks a pass tile. Like I'm not sure I'm beating the nomads to the pass tile anyway, right? This could easily go. Oh, it's a monster leech for nomads. I think the correct thing to do is to take it, because that actually does enable you to build all your TPs, but they don't, which is also fine. Just realized I have some cult digs coming in. I think the cult digs go here and here. Just more tunneling possibilities for us. So nomads are going 2 more towns. Yeah, I mean, taking the priest and contesting air is not good. I think that this is good to build a TP here. I think my opponents all still have stuff to do. And then I'll just pass. I guess this is what happens when you dig too much. Maybe this d4 was a mistake and I was supposed to just tunnel here, but like I'm looking at it and my next round is really just tunnel, and that's it, right? I don't actually have anything else to do. I hope Phaistos passes, so I don't even get to block that pass tile. Yeah, because nomads are getting another town here, so. Okay. I guess I do just randomly take the priest and send it off to air then. So it's like 12 plus. I have 12 points from tunneling next round, and that's it. I have 80 points plus the 6 here, 86. There's got to be more that I can do. It's also sad for my opponents how hard they fought this cult when, like, the air cult has no priests on it. It only has Hephaestus' priest on it. So that's worked out nicely. It's an expensive TP for darklings. I feel like they probably should not have done that. They probably should have just... Well, it's fine. Because this is where they want another town. They don't have fire 2. Can I afford to give darklings another town by like coming up and hanging out with them? I will still take 2-for-1s, even though arguably I shouldn't anymore. Okay, what do we want here? I think probably we want the priest. I don't really think that the digs are going to do me anything anymore, and I'm not sure the coins will do me anything either. And this already comes with 2 coins on it. This is like a point. This is like a point here. Like having 2 priests here is probably pretty good. I kind of just like taking the priest here. We'll see how it winds up playing out. Nomads finally got shipping. They can build A8 here, I guess. Darklings probably put their 2 spades over here. Yeah, because Darklings are only 6 network points behind me. Don't really want to help them out. 1 goes there. Oh, and I guess 1 goes down here, right? Oh, I only had 1. Duh. That was dumb. Well, my first 2 actions are probably just locking up my tunnels. I guess I'll send priests for my first 2 actions and just hope that no one messes with my hexes too much. Or is there a case for using my hexes and trying to go temple TP dwelling? Could that ever happen? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm using 6, so I would need 13 workers for that to happen. I could have 10 maximum plus 4 from the workers' power action. That's only 14 total workers, or that's only 12 total workers. I think I just counted 13, right? 6 plus 10 plus, yeah, it's 13 workers. So that was never really happening anyway. Let's just do this then. This probably means I can't really be beat on air. Or, I mean, I'm probably getting at least second on air is what I mean. Darklings continue to do essentially the worst thing that they can with their priests. I mean, at this point, it might no longer be the worst thing that they can do because there's so much bad that they've done, but we're going to come after F9 next. Oh, there's definitely an argument to be made that I was supposed to take this guy, because nomads now get this off only 1 shipping with no digs. But they probably need to advance their digs anyway, so it's probably fine. It probably didn't really matter. God, it'd be really dispiriting to lose to this Darklings player, but I think I could. Probably upgrade my digging. Yeah, I think that advancing digs is probably in my future. The other line that I have in mind is to send priest to air and temple for air 1. Temple for air 1, priest to air, temple for air 1, buy the workers, and then make a TP. But we need to lock up our hexes. I don't think both of these guys are disappearing next action. Yellow is just too good on this map. Yeah. Do you think nomads are winning? It's kind of a sad thought if they are, but I guess they might be. I was thinking halflings were winning most of this game, but they no longer have that points lead. Um, and they also haven't really capitalized on the cults, which is, I guess, kind of predictable if you open with the driller. I don't think we need these coins. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. They probably just, yeah, they can just hard dig for their last thing. Um, then they're probably good to go. Oh, they have a spade in hand. Yeah, so they're insanely crushing it. Okay. Yeah, I was supposed to tunnel to A9 first, I guess. Oh well. Yeah, halflings losing the race to this hex is unfortunate, and that is my fault. I think I was. Oh well. Yeah, this is a disastrous outcome for my dwarves. To not be anywhere close on network and have like all this going on is just. I think I'm gonna make the read that Hephaestus has too much stuff worth doing, like in terms of actually building dwellings, to find it worth it to fight me on the air track. So I am going to put the priest to air and see how that goes. Wow, what the fuck, dude? Oh well, that sucks. Um, I guess I was supposed to put that there when I had the chance. Now the dig advanced line does look a lot better, but I am going to start still with a temple for air 1. Um, Wait, nomads? God, this is. I mean, nomads are probably winning anyway, I guess, but it's really annoying to me that nomads didn't take this hex when they had the chance. They instead prioritized putting the priest to air for 2 points and hurting me. But they could have taken B6 and gotten themselves like this is like so many extra points for nomads because now they're not getting their last dwelling out. That is super frustrating to me. And they give halflings a free hex. Like they give halflings a free hex and the air cult, and they denied themselves a dwelling. In a dwelling round, they have Earth 1. Now they already have network, but as you can see, I'm pretty salty. Maybe I should have taken that giant leech. If I had taken some of those giant leeches, maybe I would be able to tunnel one more time for 6 points plus 3 network points. But that's not what happened. I'll offer them a big leech. This actually does give them a chance to use the single spade to get down their last dwelling. Yeah, they do. They actually do take it. Whatever. Like it's too late at this point to worry about anything my opponents are doing. Um, 4 power here. I would need another 4 power, but yeah, actually, if I had taken those giant leeches, um, then I could have made this dwelling, and that probably was a couple points better at least. But oh well. And actually, halflings are going to get network points, so yeah. Darklings have 21 more points between their TP dwelling, priests, and pass. 21 plus 16. It's 37 more points. So Darklings will end at 128. I'm not sure if I have 128. Even assuming that I win this cult. Nope. Hephaestus is going to temple. Okay. Fuck. There's no way this can be wrong. I either get the priest to water or I advance digs, whichever makes more sense. Okay, so priest to water and TP comes with that comes with one resource point. So the TP, yeah. So TP priest to water is 3 points for the TP, 1 point for air 1 point for the resource point, and then 1 point for the cult point. So I think that's 6 points, which is as good as a dig advance. The question is, do I care about giving anyone leech? I guess not. So I have 12 points plus 14. God, yeah, nomads. This was super annoying. Whatever. Like they're allowed to do whatever they want. But that benefited FISO so much that nomads chose to do that. Like it was just insane that nomads gave halflings so much. Actually, nomads are going to lose to halflings because of that, I think. Halflings have 6 plus 8, 14, 16 plus 4. Oh, so halflings are going to get 5 more points when they dig in dwelling, right? So that's 110, 119. 6 points for network is 125. 2 plus 4, 130, 131, 133, 141. Nomads will get 4 more points, 119. They'll win network, 137. Okay, so nomads are going to get 147 still, but they were in some jeopardy. Darklings are doing some inexplicable stuff, but I'm not actually sure if I'm beating them. Incredibly. Alright, Physis is getting nothing done here, so I'm gonna just upgrade here. Yeah, this is gonna be one of my worst losses of all time. It's not like super obvious why either. I think just like it's not super obvious why, but maybe I'm supposed to just prioritize Earth 1 more. Maybe I'm supposed to prioritize digging less and tunneling more, but like, because I do have like 1 open gray left, but I could have just also bid wrong. Also, this driller start was bad for me. Like that's another thing that did not work out in my favor. Um, so darklings pass 103. They're going to be at 119 because they managed to cheat themselves out of even more points. Okay. But I don't have that somehow. Yeah, I don't actually think I have 119. Well, I do want to look at the points breakdown, like what specifically I did that worked out so poorly, but I've been on a really, really poor streak lately. Darklings stealing fourth place, seldom seen move. Did they actually manage to steal fourth place? I don't think they did they? Wow, by 1 point. Incredible. That's hilarious. Yeah, I do wonder what I did so poorly here. Like, this is also just one of those things with Fjords that like vexes me, or maybe I should just say perplexes me. I just don't understand like what did I do that was so horrible here. I guess I lost this cult. That was bad. Maybe I wasn't supposed to take the cult town, but I feel like that was fine. Maybe I was supposed to. Okay, so one thing that I did was I didn't prioritize sending the priest to air. I could have had A7. I think I had A7, and I chose not to send priest to air at that time. Um, I just didn't think that nomads would send priest to air when they really wanted to beat halflings to B6. Um, if they had taken B6, they could have still gotten these 2 points, but with a ship advance instead. And then I'd probably at least tie air, if not win it. Hephaestus probably just builds another dwelling in that case, because it's not actually clear to me that this temple was good for them. But this would have been a catastrophic loss of Elo if I had actually lost to this player here, because that would have been like less 10 more Elo probably. Like it looks like I'm losing 9 Elo for a bad loss, so that probably would have another minus 15 Elo. Um, not not particularly fast Hephaestus, buddy. We're streaming and we took the dog out and we still beat you in time. So yeah, 16 is just. I mean, everyone paid a lot of VP and Leech. So where was I not able to do stuff? Okay, so I wasn't able to build stuff in the right rounds. That is definitely a bummer. Obviously, I didn't have Earth One, but I mean, I don't think that that was necessarily the difference. I didn't like this was equal. This was equal. This was meh. I had 27 points here. Um, so I think basically, I'm not sure that I had like. I just didn't have enough to justify paying this many victory points, right? That's what it was. Like nomads just had a better game than me anyway. Um, halflings had an equally good game as me, and like, why are they able to do that? They hit the track. That was not necessarily foreseeable because I guess we didn't know that halflings were going to get such an easy town, right? Halflings did get this town, which was fine, and they managed this. Like, I I just don't know what I was supposed to do here. Um, Other than not like obviously I could have started by not paying as many victory points for dwarves, but I also don't know what I was supposed to do to make up like. So say that I pay like were dwarves even the best faction? That's I guess that's what I want to know, right? Were dwarves actually the best faction? And is it because like Hephaestus did this weird driller stuff and nomads took the priest early instead of the spade that like I just misread the situation? What did I bid? I bid no dwarves down to 18. Um, Now with two ship tiles, that was always like a little bit iffy, but Yeah, I did bid dwarves down quite a lot. Only one player actually made use of the ship VP pass tile. That was Hephaestus in the final round. Otherwise, no one actually got on the ship VP tile because I blocked this in round 2 to secure double dig. Um, but if I'm looking for where I might have gone wrong, I spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 digs this game. 8. I dug 8 times this game um, manually. This was a cult spade, so that didn't count. So this was 4 power, this was 6 power, this was 6 power for hexes that turn into towns, but maybe I didn't need towns as badly if it was going to cost me that much in digging. Plus, sometimes digging is better if your opponents really want the double dig action, but my opponents didn't give a shit about the double dig action. And then I hard dug to secure connection here, and I hard dug to secure 2 grays to tunnel to here and make my town. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there was like an obvious. Like, obviously, only building 13 or yeah, 13 structures minus lands. Like, only building 13 non-landscape structures is also fairly weak. So am I supposed to like float my connection longer? Am I supposed to try to target nomads even more by like taking this hex and forcing them to at least pay for 2 ship? Um, am I supposed to hope that my opponents fight a little harder, like, and don't give like, I mean, darklings were supposed to beat me as well. That's the thing, right? Like, I was only 10 points away from darklings. Despite everything, they were fine, I guess. I guess to be fair, I outscored darklings by a lot, but like, is this double east black actually bad for me? I guess black is also supposed to cut off halflings, right? Like, darklings took the double spade in round 1 instead of giving it to me. That was actually a huge swing in the game. I didn't know that, like, darklings are probably not supposed to take double spade in round 1, right? Like, it wound up being fun, and like they could have parlayed it into something good, but like there's no way to foresee that that's what they want to do. Um, Halflings going for the driller opening was pretty cool. Um, Ultimately, it did win. Like, I'm not sure if they were even supposed to necessarily win this race to the 2 key town. Like, nomads probably could have gotten that 2 key town instead of them. And that would have been good for nomads. They were close on these 2 cults. I don't know. Terra Mystica is still a mysterious game to me. It eludes me. Um, well, whatever. We might play a game later tonight. We might not. We'll see how things go. But anyway, everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for chatting. It was a very disappointing outcome. This season has just, I've been just on a very poor streak in the last, like, at the end of last season and early this season. But we'll see how things go. So we'll see y'all next time.